Hi, I'm Nancy Hansen. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And in thinking about why I vote, it dates back to the Vietnam War, quite honestly. I was in high school and college when that war was going on, and 18-year-olds couldn't vote, but they could be sent to Vietnam to fight and die. And if they had the right to do that, they had the right to pick the people who sent them. And in the 1970s, when I was getting started in my career, I had gotten a credit card from MasterCard when I graduated from college. But when I got married, they wanted me to reapply in my husband's name. No, it's my money. And so there are things like that that have gone on in my lifetime where people were not respected for who they are. And I think that's one of the major things that I see as a reason to vote. Now that I'm older, and volunteering for AARP, and I also volunteer for the League of Women Voters. I'm really concerned about voter suppression and the information that gets out to the public. I heard a couple weeks ago that voter suppression, the easiest form of voter suppression is to convince people that their votes aren't going to count. And that's not true. It is definitely not true. But it's an easy way to say to a lot of people, oh, well, if you go to the polls, your vote's not going to count. And people believe that. And that's too bad because your votes do count. Now, this year, if you're concerned about COVID, I get that. None of us wants to be sick. I've had family members who have had COVID, and it's no fun. So you can vote absentee. Now, there is some question about absentee ballots as to whether or not they're going to be counted. They will be counted. They will be counted immediately. They're not going to be counted next year or the year after that or whatever is being said. You can apply for an absentee ballot. The best thing to do is to fill it out immediately and send it back. And there is a Facebook post going around that says you have to have 2 stamps on the envelope. That's not true. But if there's more than one person in a household, you each have a return envelope and you each need to use it. Now, if you are not comfortable with absentee voting, you can also vote early. And voting early in Indiana starts on October 6th. The deadline to register to vote is October 5th. There are a number of really good websites that you can use for voter information. And one of those is indianavoters.com. This is a website put together by the state. You can apply for an absentee ballot on that website. You can register to vote. You can find your polling location. The information is all provided by the state, so you know that it is all factual and valid. So indianavoters.com is a great resource. Now, if you're looking for information on issues and candidates, my first suggestion is to read your local newspaper, because your local officials in offices in your city, your county, and then your state are going to affect your life a whole lot more than the person sitting in the White House. But after that, there are 2 websites that I highly recommend that are my favorites. One is vote411.org. This is a website put together by the League of Women Voters. And what the League does is puts together a set of questions for each of the candidates, emails those questions to the candidates. They type in their responses and upload the information to the vote411.org website. So what they say is what you get. The League does absolutely no editing of their responses. So it's a good resource because the League is nonpartisan. And just as a point of history for those of us who love history, the League grew out of the passage of the 19th Amendment, where women finally got the right to vote in 1920. That's 100 years ago. The League's nonpartisan, and it's a great resource for those of us who are in the middle somewhere. Another good resource that I have discovered is VoteSmart.org. And VoteSmart.org is a website that was put together, and an organization that was started by a number of national level politicians, some former presidents. Their purpose is also voter education. They are nonpartisan, great information, and they also have volunteer opportunities. If COVID ever ends and you want to volunteer to get involved, but you don't want to be part of a particular party, that's a good group to be involved with. So there are 3 websites to remember. You've got indianavoters.com, vote411.org, and VoteSmart.org. And please don't forget AARP. The folks who work for AARP are doing a great job representing all of us over 50 with various issues and to various entities, and they deserve and need our support. Thank you.